water has proven to be perfectly level. 7. Surveyors, engineers, and architects are never required to factor the supposed curvature of the Earth into their projects. Canals, railways, bridges, and tunnels, for example, are always cut and laid horizontally, often over hundreds of miles without any allowance for curvature. 8. The Suez Canal, connecting the Mediterranean with the Red Sea, is 100 miles long without any locks, making the water an uninterrupted continuation of the two seas. When constructed, the Earth's supposed curvature was not taken into account. It was dug along a horizontal datum line, 26 feet below sea level, passing through several lakes from one sea to the other, with the datum line and the water's surface running perfectly parallel over the 100 miles. 9. Engineer W. Winkler was published in the Earth Review regarding the Earth's supposed curvature, stating, "As an engineer of many years' standing, this allowance for curvature means this, that it is 8 inches for the first mile of a canal and increasing at the ratio by the square of the distance in miles. Thus a small navigable canal for boats, say 30 miles long, will have, by the above rule, an allowance for curvature of 600 feet. Think of that, and then please credit engineers as not being quite such fools. Nothing of the sort is allowed. We no more think of allowing 600 feet for a line of 30 miles of railway or canal than of wasting our time trying to square the circle." 10. The London and North Western Railway forms a straight line 180 miles long between London and Liverpool. The railroad's highest point midway at Birmingham Station is only 240 feet above sea level. If the world were actually a globe, however, curving 8 inches per mile squared, the 180-mile stretch of rail would form an arc with the center point at Birmingham raised over a mile, a full 5,400 feet above London and Liverpool. 11. A surveyor and engineer of 30 years published in the Birmingham Weekly Mercury stated, "I am thoroughly acquainted with the theory and practice of civil engineering. However bigoted some of our professors may be in the theory of surveying, according to the prescribed rules, yet it is well known amongst us that such theoretical measurements are incapable of any practical illustration. All our locomotives are designed to run on what may be regarded as true levels or flats. There are, of course, partial inclines or gradients here and there, but they are always accurately defined and must be carefully traversed. But anything approaching to 8 inches in the mile, increasing as the square of the distance, could not be worked by any engine that was ever yet constructed. Taking one station with another, all over England and Scotland, it may be stated that all the platforms are on the same relative level. The distance between eastern and western coasts of England may be set down as 300 miles. If the prescribed curvature was indeed as represented, the central stations at Rugby or Warwick ought to be close upon 3 miles higher than a cord drawn from the two extremities. If such was the case, there is not a driver or stoker within the kingdom that would be found to take charge of the train. We can only laugh at those of your readers who seriously give us credit for such venturesome exploits as running trains round spherical curves. Horizontal curves on levels are dangerous enough. Vertical curves would be 1,000 times worse, and with our rolling stock constructed as at present, physically impossible. 12. The Manchester Ship Canal Company, published in the Earth Review, stated, "It is customary in railway and canal constructions for all levels to be referred to a datum which is nominally horizontal and is so shown on all sections. It is not the practice in laying out public works to make allowances for the curvature of the Earth." 13. In a 19th century French experiment by M.M. and Arago, a powerful lamp with good reflectors was placed on the summit of Desierto las Palmas in Spain, and able to be seen all the way from Capri on the island of Ibiza. Since the elevation of the 2 points were identical and the distance between covered nearly 100 miles, if the Earth were a ball 25,000 miles in circumference, the light should have been more than 6,600 feet, a mile and a quarter, below the line of sight. 14. The Lieutenant Colonel Portlock experiment used oxyhydrogen Drummond's lights and heliostats to reflect the sun's rays across stations set up across 108 miles of St. George's Channel. If the Earth were actually a ball 25,000 miles in circumference, Portlock's light should have remained hidden under a mile and a half of curvature. 15. If the Earth were truly a sphere 25,000 miles in circumference, airplane pilots would have to constantly correct their altitudes downwards so as to not fly straight off into outer space. A pilot wishing to simply maintain their altitude at a typical cruising speed of 500 miles per hour would have to constantly dip their nose downwards and descend 2,777 feet, over half a mile, every minute. Otherwise, without compensation, in 1 hour's time, the pilot would find themselves 31.5 miles higher than expected. 16. The experiment known as Airy's failure proved that stars move relative to a stationary Earth and not the other way around. By first filling a telescope with water to slow down the speed of light inside, then calculating the tilt necessary to get the starlight directly down the tube, Airy failed to prove the heliocentric theory, since the starlight was already coming in the correct angle with no change necessary, and instead proved the geocentric model correct. 17. Olber's paradox states that if there were billions of stars, which are suns, the night sky would be filled completely with light. As Edgar Allan Poe said, "Were the succession of stars endless, then the background of the sky would present us a uniform luminosity, since there could exist absolutely no point in all that background at which would not exist a star." In fact, Olber's paradox is no more a paradox than George Airy's experiment was a failure. Both are actually excellent refutations of the heliocentric spinning ball Earth model. 18. The Michelson, Morley, and Sagnac experiments attempted to measure the change in speed of light due to Earth's assumed motion through space. After measuring in every possible different direction in various locations, they failed to detect any significant change whatsoever, again proving the stationary geocentric model. 19. Tycho Brahe famously argued against the heliocentric theory in his time, positing that if the Earth revolved around the Sun, the change in relative position of the stars after 6 months' orbital motion could not fail to be seen. He argued that the stars should seem to separate as we approach and come together as we recede. In actual fact, however, after 190 million miles of supposed orbit around the Sun, not a single inch of parallax can be detected in the stars, proving that we have not moved at all. 20. If Earth were truly constantly spinning eastwards at over 1,000 miles per hour, vertically fired cannonballs and other projectiles should fall significantly due west. In actual fact, however, when this has been tested, vertically fired cannonballs shoot upwards an average of 14 seconds ascending, 14 seconds descending, and fall back to the ground no more than 2 feet away from the cannon, often directly back into the muzzle. 21. If the Earth were truly constantly spinning eastward at over 1,000 miles per hour, helicopters and hot air balloons should be able to simply hover over the surface of the Earth and wait for their destinations to come to them. 22. If Earth were truly constantly spinning eastward at over 1,000 miles per hour, during the Red Bull stratosphere dive, Felix Baumgartner, spending 3 hours ascending over New Mexico, should have landed 2,500 miles west into the Pacific Ocean, but instead landed a few dozen miles east of the takeoff point. 23. Ball believers often claim gravity magically and inexplicably drags the entire lower atmosphere of the Earth in perfect synchronization up to some undetermined height, where this progressively faster spinning atmosphere gives way to the non-spinning, non-gravitized, non-atmosphere of infinite vacuum space. Such nonsensical theories are debunked, however, by rain, fireworks, birds, bugs, clouds, smoke, planes, and projectiles, all of which would behave very differently if both the ball Earth and its atmosphere were constantly spinning eastward at 1,000 miles per hour. 24. If Earth and its atmosphere were constantly spinning eastward over 1,000 miles per hour, then north-south facing cannons should establish a control, while east-firing cannonballs should fall significantly farther than all others, while west-firing cannonballs should fall significantly closer. In actual fact, however, regardless of which direction cannons are fired, the distance covered is always the same. 25. If Earth and its atmosphere were constantly spinning eastwards over 1,000 miles per hour, then the average commercial airliner, traveling 500 miles per hour, should never be able to reach its eastward destinations before they come speeding up from behind. Likewise, westward destinations should be arrived at thrice the speed, but this is not the case. 26. Quoting Heaven and Earth by Gabrielle Henriette, If flying had been invented at the time of Copernicus, there is no doubt that he would have soon realized that his contention regarding the rotation of the earth was wrong, on account of the relation existing between the speed of an aircraft and that of the earth's rotation. If the earth rotates, as it is said, at 1,000 miles an hour, and a plane flies in the same direction at only 500 miles, it is obvious that its place of destination will be farther removed every minute. On the other hand, if flying took place in the opposite direction to that of the rotation, a distance of 1,500 miles would be covered in 1 hour instead of 500, since the speed of the rotation is to be added to that of the plane. It could also be pointed out that such a flying speed of 1,000 miles an hour, which is supposed to be that of the Earth's rotation, has recently been achieved, so that an aircraft flying at this rate in the same direction as that of the rotation could not cover any ground at all. It would remain suspended in mid-air over the spot from which it took off, since both speeds are equal. 27. If Earth and its atmosphere were constantly spinning eastwards over 1,000 miles per hour, landing airplanes on such fast-moving runways, which face all manner of directions, north, south, east, west, and otherwise, would be practically impossible. Yet, in reality, such fictional concerns are completely negligible. 28. If the Earth and its atmosphere were constantly spinning eastwards over 1,000 miles per hour, then clouds, wind, and weather patterns could not casually and unpredictably go every which way, with clouds often traveling in opposing directions at varying altitudes simultaneously. 29. If the Earth and its atmosphere were constantly spinning eastwards over 1,000 miles per hour, this should somewhere, somehow, be seen, heard, felt, or measured by someone, yet no one in history has ever experienced this alleged eastward motion. Meanwhile, however, we can hear, feel, and experimentally measure even the slightest westward breeze. 30. In his book South Sea Voyages, Arctic and Antarctic explorer Sir James Clark Ross described his experience on the night of November 27, 1839, and his conclusion that the Earth must be motionless. The sky being very clear, it enabled us to observe the higher stratum of clouds to be moving in an exactly opposite direction to that of the wind, a circumstance which is frequently recorded in our meteorological journal, both in the northeast and southeast trades, and has also often been observed by former voyagers. Captain Basil Hall witnessed it from the summit of the Peak of Teneriffe, and Count Strzelecki on ascending the volcanic mountain of Kyrenia in Owyhee, reached at 4,000 feet an elevation above that of the trade wind, and experienced the influence of an opposite current of air of a different hydrometric and thermometric condition. Count Strzelecki further informed me of the following seemingly anomalous circumstance: that at the height of 6,000 feet he found the current of air blowing at right angles to both the lower strata, also of a different thermometric condition, but warmer than the interstratum. Such a state of the atmosphere is compatible only with the fact which other evidence has demonstrated, that the earth is at rest. 31. Quoting zetetic cosmogony, Thomas Winship states, "Let imagination picture to the mind what force air would have which was set in motion by a spherical body of 8,000 miles in diameter, which in 1 hour was spinning round 1,000 miles per hour, rushing through space at 65,000 miles per hour, and gyrating across the heavens. Then let conjecture endeavor to discover whether the inhabitants on such a globe could keep their hair on. If the earth globe rotates on its axis at the terrific rate of 1,000 miles per hour, stuck to the surface of a rapidly spinning ball, then it is impossible for gravity to also simultaneously be weak enough to allow little birds, bugs, and planes to take off and travel freely oceans around a globular Earth, it would be impossible for fish and other creatures to swim through such forcefully held.
Right, guys, how we doing? I'm just going to pause the stream and then bring it back on so that it cuts and downloads and comes back up to YouTube properly and everything. So I'll be back with you in 1 minute. Alright, here we go. We're getting somewhere. Make this a bit bigger. There we go. Yo, peace guys. How's everyone doing? Just give a quick hello if you can hear what I'm saying. That'd be wicked. Yep, internet's dropping out already. Got wicked bad connectivity problems in the UK at the minute. This map here, all them red spots are where we've got no internet in the UK at the minute, and I'm right in the middle there, right in the middle of a red spot, so it's up and down, but we'll do what we can do. Alright, so what I wanted to show you was promoting Flat Earth on Twitter, basically, because I ain't done mine today, and it's 7 o'clock at night, so there's a lot needs doing. Hi Flat Trotter SS, Steve Harthen. We've got Way BMX in here as well, nice. So Jamie Brown later, are you off, dude? See you in a bit. Yeah, dial up Steve, pain in the ass. Endo, trying to speed some info and get you some more peeps hopefully, spread some info. Yeah, Endo, that's wicked, get loads of people in here. Oh, you've sent me another message. Endo says, Joseph Green, don't know if you were in here and saw when I mentioned putting your channel link in the groups I'm in on Facebook. Yeah, Endo, that would be wicked, bro. Anyone that we can get connected on any of the platforms are going to be wicked. Steve says, good here, Joseph said earlier. Oh, good here, Joseph said earlier he was having internet outages. Yeah, we're still having internet problems. I'm just going to stream what I can stream. We'll do what we can. Get it up there. Alright. So, I guess we'll get started. So, first I got this Twitter, which I'll put the link out here in the chat for you guys, and I'm going to put it in the bottom of the description. I'll put it in the top. In the description of this video, for anyone that's watching it not live, there's a bunch of links at the very top of the description, and that's what I'm referring to. So number 1 is the Twitter link that I've put out here. So what do we do on Twitter, eh? What I like to do, I come to notifications, 54 notifications, which is quite a bit. I think I made a post about 12-16 hours ago that I retweeted out to a bunch of people. Oh, it was 4 hours ago, so that's how time's going. There we go, you can see my internet connectivity problems here, it's terrible. Steve Harthen, nice one, yeah, get your Twitters out there guys. Anyone that's using Twitter, get it out there. I'm pretty sure I've added you, Steve, I'll just have a look to make sure. Oh no, I've not got you, Steve. Not yet. There we go, I'm following you now, mate. So anyone else with any Twitters, yeah, get them out there. Right, and so how to interact on Twitter. You come through here. Anyone that's liked or done any actions on any of your posts, just come through and follow them, because they're going to get a notification in their panel. It says they have done. Oh, there's Steve that liked mine. Oh, this internet's so slow that you don't even get the hovers. Well, we have to grind on. Oh, this is pretty terrible. Usually when you hover your mouse over one of the icons, you get that little box that comes up that says whether you're following or not. It gives you a little description of their profile. Oh, they're not coming up. My internet's so bad. We're having real trouble here. Here we go. Alright, it might be a bit better now. So make sure that they've liked or retweeted one of your tweets. Make sure that it's your name there, and then just come through, follow, because everyone that you follow here, they've liked and retweeted your tweet, obviously. So they're digging what you're putting out, and when you follow them, they'll get a notification up in their notifications bar. And these accounts, you see, he's got 242 followers. When he gets a notification in it, there's a good chance that he's going to see it and come back and look at us and have a look at what else is on our profile and like us and follow us, which is what we're trying to do. Trying to get loads of followers at the minute, first thing, so that we can get an authority account. Globe shite. Yeah, we're good, bro. The globe is shite. I hear that. How you doing? Yeah, So because he get quite, like this account, I've been working on this account for about 3 weeks, I'd have thought, maybe a month. And now I'm getting to the point where, as you see, 4 hours ago I made a couple of posts. I don't think I looked at my notifications then though, but all these notifications have come in within at least the last 12 hours, and they're just people liking and retweeting the stuff. And the more likes and retweets it gets out, obviously, the more people it reaches, and that's what it's all about. We're trying to get information out to people. So right now we're looking at how to build up the Twitter account, because we need to build up the Twitter account first so that we have some kind of authority in Flat Earth. Like, we don't just look like a person who knows about Flat Earth. We look like someone who spreads truth about Flat Earth and who knows what they're talking about. So we need to build up an authority account first, and that's basically like business advice for building up social accounts. If you want, in any niche, if we look at Flat Earth as a niche, and can we see this one? This is a good one. I'm going to retweet that. And this is good as well. I'll talk why in a minute. Any niche, you want to build authority in it so that people will look up to you and respect what you're saying. Now this hashtag swear word on a picture of my image, that's good. That gets my name out there and my face out there, and people are going to recognise it. Like Brian here, he probably thinks he's doing me some damage by doing that, like taking the mick out of me. But it's publicity. Any publicity is good publicity. Look, he's put it out to, I don't know if these are flat earthers that he's put it out to or not, but it's better if they're not. Because if these are globies that he's retweeted it to and they recognise my face and profile and stuff as well, then could be good. No, I'm following most of them, so most of them are globies. I mean, most of them are flatties, because I'm following them. But anyway, so I'll keep following these guys. I know I've got that guy, I know I've got all 4 of them, I recognise them. And then in a minute I'll show you the stuff I'm putting out as well. Oh, sorry Globeshite, I didn't read your comments, let's have a look. He says he's good. Anyone know if I can divert money from sales on Teespring or the like? Divert to funding campaigns like Mad Mike? Globeshite, I think you'd have to take it into your bank account, isn't it? And then donate it back out. It's the only way I can think of doing it. Because I think when you donate to GoFundMe, you have to put your debit or credit card details in there, don't you? Okay, we've got some internet back. So I just want to check again that this is my tweet. Yeah, this is my tweet about Prodigy of Mob. And I'll show you that tweet in a minute. So anyone that liked my tweet, I'm going to go through and follow them to make sure they get a notification up there. And then they'll see some more of my stuff. Hopefully they'll come and have a look at my profile, and if they see any more stuff on there they like, they'll follow it. And even if this is quite good, it's come off this tweet, because this tweet's about Prodigy of Moby. The title is Prodigy of Moby dies aged 42, because he died yesterday, I think it was, on the 20th of June. I think it was the 20th, might have been today, 21st. The title says, Prodigy of Mob dies aged 42, now hear him speak about Illuminati, elites and corruption. So we bring people that are already on this kind of level about Illuminati, elites, and they might well open their eyes when they start to see some flat earth stuff. And the good thing about building an authority account is when you've got, say, 1,000 followers or 2,000 followers, and new people come to look at your account, they think just because you've got that many followers and your account's been there for that long in good standing, it's easier for them to accept that you're telling them the truth. Because the reason that they accept the globe model is because it's come from an authority figure. It's come from the schools and the government. That's the authority. So when we're just shouting at them on the streets as one person, like, it's flat, can't you see this? They're just hearing it from another person, sort of thing. It doesn't really go in. But when they hear it from someone who's got followers, who's got, who leads people, and that's essentially what Twitter is. It goes into the brain like that. When you're taking information from there, it's a lot easier to go in. Like, imagine you were selling something. What you're doing here, what I'm doing at least, is I'm selling flat earth information. I'm selling flat earth truth. if you were trying to sell handbags or something, you'd build up a big account going around liking and retweeting everyone that has anything to do with handbags that might buy them, potential customers. So here we're liking and retweeting anyone that has anything to do with Flat Earth, and we're also getting involved in potential Flat Earthers. Also, when you see that someone's acted on a tweet like yours, like here Steve Harthen has, I think he's got my name in a tweet, so he's mentioned me, be sure to like it, always like it, and maybe retweet it as well if you fancy, if you want to put it on your wall. But interaction is key to building up social accounts. We're going to go and have a look at Facebook as well and Reddit as well. And this will mouse over. Here we go. I'll show you the tool that I use to balance my followers as well, that I think is an okay one, because you do have to be careful when you're mass following and mass unfollowing on Twitter. I mean, doing it like we're doing is absolutely fine here because it's not breaking the terms of service, because we're not using any kind of computer thing or anything like that. But some people do use another tool, which I've seen. What it's called now. I'll show you what it is, and I'll put the link out there just in case you fancy using it. But I'm not going to use it on stream. I'm not going to log into it on stream because I don't want to break my terms of service. Where are we? Flat Trotter says they'll make the connection. Most will. Yeah, if we keep putting the information out there and offer them the connection, if we put our hand out and allow them to grab it, a lot of them will come. Eventually, all of them come. Like you say. All of them will have to come in the end. I mean, it's an undeniable truth. How can you avoid it? It's just how quick they come, isn't it? Steve Harthen there has said Twitter is a powerful tool. We need to use it. Most definitely. Most definitely. I'd say, I don't know what percentage of under 30s have got a Twitter account, but I'd happily put a bet on it being 50% or more of like 15 to 30-year-olds that have got a Twitter account. So if we can connect with them, you know, if we follow, if we get someone to follow us, sorry, what am I trying to say here? How to put information in front of every person on Twitter. If we get enough accounts built up, we'll be able to put Flat Earth information on all hashtags, on all words. We'll be able to put mention every Twitter user in Flat Earth tweets. Now, I'll show you a tool that I'm building as well to help with that. If you're using Flat Earth like Steve Harthen, I think he's using it. This tool, I'll put it in the chat. It's not really clickable right now. I don't know if you'll use it right now. It's for kind of for the future. I'll show you what it is. And it's number 2 in the description below. If you're not watching it live, this tool is number 2 in the description below. Right at the top of the description. We're having fun with internet connectivity problems again. Okay, here's my Twitter tool. Excuse the site, I've coded it by hand, so it's dead basic. It's not there to look pretty, it's there to serve a function. Now, there's a list here of Twitter users that I've added to my account that I think are they're either flatties, so they're with us and we need to connect with them, or they are people that I think are going to react well. Or react to tweets that we put out, so people that are going to help spread the word for us inadvertently. Now the idea of this is you can just open a page and you can go to Twitter, make your tweet, compose it, put your meme in or your text or whatever it is you're going to put in there, your little video or whatever. Just come here and copy a line, so press Ctrl+C to copy it, go across to Twitter and press Ctrl+V and drop it in there. And it's just got the names there already, so you don't have to go around searching for them. Now, so if one of us, like me or anyone else, maintains a tool like this and keeps it going, and say 10, 20, 100, however many of us use it, then we're going to specifically target these users. So you can have a team or a person or a team of people scouting out who we need to target, put it on a document, and then another team of people targeting them. So that's what I can see I can see the long-term of this tool potentially. So I know the page doesn't look pretty right now, but you know, it serves its function. It does what it needs to do. Down at the bottom, underneath all the dates as well, there's a stream. These are all the Flat Earth posts that come up with the Flat Earth hashtag. So it's easy enough to just like come up at the top, copy that, come down here. Whatever, you know, that one looks good. Click it, retweet it, click the video. Oh, they've taken the retweet out of the widget. You can't retweet directly from the widget anymore. That's pretty sigh. I think from the widget we've got a little share button. Can we still work it? Thanks Globeshite, I appreciate that. Globeshite says the tool looks good, and I appreciate that because I put work into it. It took me a while. Right, this widget, I'm not sure how useful the widget's going to be at the minute, but maybe it might be worth a look. Because you used to be able to retweet directly out of it, but now perhaps not. Okay, that was a bit of a sidetrack one. So that's the Twitter tool. That's link number 2 in the description below. This is Manage Flitter. If one wants to have a go with it, it's trustworthy, it's big, it will help you manage your Twitter accounts. I'm not sure if it breaks the Twitter terms of service or not though, because in Twitter you're not allowed to use anything sort of computerized or any bots or anything. And this, whilst you are, you do individually remove users. So you click in this remove user and it removes it from your Twitter. You're not doing any kind of mass removal. I'm still not 100% sure. I will look into it though. I'll put that on the notes. So then we can know if we can use it or not. Because I do want to stay within terms of service. Because there's no point building up these massive accounts and then having them blocked. So put on notes. Can we use Manage Flitter with Twitter? There we go, that's in there. And the link, there we go, the link for this Manage Flitter, I'm putting it as number 3 in the description below. So at the top of the description, the very first few lines are a bunch of links that I'm using, or that I'm displaying. So that's that one. So we were in Twitter, weren't we? Going through and interacting with anyone that's interacted with us. Okay, so it won't load anymore because the internet's dodgy at the minute, so we'll take that as a sign to go back up to the top here, and I'll show you how to build up your account without creating any content. All the content that Flat Earthers make is absolutely shareable. Like, I know that I have no right to speak for them, but I'm pushing out there's no copyright on Flat Earth. Like, anyone can use anything that I create, any of my videos or text or images or graphics or anything. Perfectly happy with that, and I think a lot of other people on Flat Earth are that way, because it's all about just getting the truth out. So what I'm trying to say is, when you come to the home page here, you're scrolling through, see something you like. Now, I'm quite interested in chemtrails. It's a strange one. This was brilliant with Dr. Agus, I think it's David Agus, mentioning Flat Earth on Twitter, on the news, like in a subliminal way. We'll come to that video in a bit. So to promote Flat Earth without creating content, I'm going to go with T.Y. Gordon here. I know this guy. We help each other out on the socials, so I'm going to retweet one of his. So just what I did there, this is building your account without content. Retweet it there, come up to the Twitter tool, copy, paste it in there and tweet it out. This Twitter tool's got my account on there as well, so when you tweet that out, I'll get notified of it, and within probably 24 hours I'll pick you up and add you into mine. And yeah, a good place to get followers from. If you're opening a new account, a new Twitter account, come and get some followers by going on one of the bigger Twitter accounts like mine or any of the big ones that you find. Truth Flat's good, We're Waking Up's good, and look at their followers. I mean, look at who's following them, so their followers, yeah, and follow them. So for example, go to my page, click followers, and then follow the people that are in there, because they're already following me, they already have an interest in Flat Earth, so they're likely to follow you with you giving Flat Earth information. Okay, Twitter doesn't want to load again now, so I think we'll probably close it and move on. Just gonna have a sip of my drink. Just close my chat. How do we turn off chat now? Turn off chat, there it is. Alright, so I'm going to show you my Facebook group now. Just have a look at the comments before we get into that then. Flat Trotter, most people will consider Flat Earth. It's only one step at a time. Progress, cognitive dissonance impedes progress. Yeah, it does, Flat Earth Trotter. What I've seen though, it's getting easier to talk to people about it, especially within the last sort of weeks and months. Like, I've not had the crazy reaction recently. I talk about Flat Earth regularly, I'm just dead open about it. And it used to be that people would be like, oh, you're crazy, you nut job, what you on about? Like, in real life, live, people would be saying that. But now, people are more interested. And people are even saying to me, I said to a guy, like, yeah, I promote Flat Earth, he was asking what I was doing. And he came up with Hollow Earth theory. So, although, like, you know, we know Hollow Earth's not real, and it's a bit of a distraction, it's the reaction that it's taken. It's not gone, oh, you must be crazy, you're anti-mainstream. It's gone, yeah, there's other possibilities out there. So we're definitely pushing the right way. I mean, the movement's growing. Look how many people are involved. All the streams that have gone out. It's madness. Like, I search YouTube for Flat Earth sometimes, see how many videos have gone up in the last hour, and it's regularly in the 30s. People, we've got 30-ish videos going out every hour. With the word Flat Earth in the title. So it's being normalised. That's my objective, normalise it. Just normalise Flat Earth. Put memes, videos, all kinds of stuff. Just get the words Flat Earth out in front of people. Let everyone know that there's a debate going on. Flat Earth says, you have to prove Flat Earth to yourself and do the searching work. It is the only way to get over the cognitive distance the quickest. I totally agree with their flat reflection. When people come in asking questions all the time, demanding evidence, like when someone demands evidence, I'm like pretty much done with them in regards to trying to wake them up, because they're just not at that stage yet. They, like you say, they need to go and search for the evidence themselves. They need to ask questions, not to us, not saying to us, show me the curvature, I mean show me no curvature, or prove this to me. They need to go out and ask the questions to videos and to Google, basically. I mean, Google it. What if they want to know how far away is the moon, how do they find out? Google it. But if you want to find out, I mean, in the globe Earth theory, if you want to find out how far away is the moon in a flat Earth theory, it's the same, isn't it? You just Google how far away is the moon on flat Earth. Sorry, getting distracted here. Tangents. Getting deep into stuff I don't need to get deep into. Flat Trotter SS, flat reflection, yeah, he's talking about. Yes, telling people about it won't convince them. Only when you go on the journey will you know the Earth is flat and stationary. Research your own. Yeah, that's it. And learn to trust yourself as well, I'd say. People should just trust themselves rather than authority figures. Like I was talking about creating an authority account earlier. People should not really trust authority accounts. I think you should trust from within. Which I've learned to do. It's hard. It's hard. It takes meditation practice. I'm sure most of the guys in the room, Flat Earthers here, do trust from within rather than from external. But that's how you've got here. Okay, Facebook group's kind of the same. Make sure that you're bringing in people who want to be here. Don't sit there and just add everybody, add, because people who, if you bring in 1,000 people who don't want to be here and there's no interaction in the group, Facebook notice that and drop it to the bottom of the pile. Basically, they don't promote it for you at all. But if you've got 20 people in here and they're all actively contributing and liking and chatting with each other in the group, then Facebook will notice that and bring it up. What I do to promote this group is every day I put a post. So today I put the post about the video of Dr. Agus saying flat earth on TV, on the news, and I share it out to all of the big flat earth groups. I think there's 8 or 10 that I share it out to. I'm sorry about this internet connectivity, guys, it's terrible. Still really bad. Okay, I'm going to try and keep this brief because it's no good trying to do it over this bad internet. Cutting out all the time, I can't do it properly. I can't just sit here for 5 minutes waiting for a share link to load. It's going to frustrate me even having to promote it all myself. But ah well, it's got to be done. So, the Facebook group, here's the link for it. If you want to join our Facebook group. And in the description below, that's number 4. If you come in here, you'll find me. I'm Joseph Green. You can send me a message, and I've talked to you there about whatever, promoting flat Earth or talk about anything really. I don't want to converse. I don't want to debate flat Earth there though. What I'm trying to say is, if you want to build up a flat Earth Facebook profile, come join the group, say hello, and we'll help you out with that. Even if you just want to enjoy the videos and memes, come join the group. So, covered that one. And then also with friends, when I first opened the account, I went out and added like 20 people that I went through the groups, the flat Earth groups, and added 20 people that I thought were genuine flat earthers for good reasons. And then it gives your friends suggestions, and people start adding you, and you add people who've got a lot of mutual friends. And then once I got to about 100 friends, I just stopped adding people because I wanted to make sure that they wanted to follow me. I didn't want to be spamming people. I want to make sure that we're legit. I mean, that they want to be my friend. It's the same kind of thing in the group. If you've got 4,000 friends and none of them ever communicate with you, Facebook's going to notice that, and it's not going to bring you up in listings very highly. It's going to drop your account whenever it can. If you get a list of, say someone searches your name and there's 200 people with that name, the accounts that have got 4,000 followers and 4,000 friends and no interaction are going to be at the bottom, but the accounts that have got 100 friends and 100 friends that interact are going to be at the top. So with these profiles, it's about making sure you get genuine people. Don't spam, no spam basically. And then the last thing that I always make sure I do for interaction, I mean, there's lots of things to do. This is the last thing I make sure that I do. Look in my notifications. And when you scroll through the notifications, you'll be able to see who's shared your posts. So when you put a post in Flat Earth versus Globe, like the big 30,000 user group, when you put your post in there, it carries a link back to your group, your profile, and the comment that you've put in it. So this YouTube link will also be in all the other groups. And it doesn't look spammy, like I'm just putting the post in there like this. As you see the post in this group here, that's not how it's displayed in the other groups. When I click share, it opens a new box, and this post here becomes the media item, and I can add new text to it. So this title, Dr. David, Agnes and Superstar, and the YouTube link appear in the next group. It appears below the image as just sort of a description. So the link's still there, but the admins will let it in, because you're not just pasting, oh yo, come check out my YouTube link. You paste in, here's a video I found, it looks wicked, and the description down below happens to have a YouTube link in it. And the moderators on these sites, they are community moderators, as far as I'm aware. So the person who owns the site, or owns the group, just picks like 100 people to be moderators as best he can, but he can't really have control over those people. And those people quite often are just going to be saying, yes, let it in, yes, let it in, and they're going to have their own personal agendas. So it's easy to get good posts into the groups, basically. We can get promotional posts in there, because I thought it might be a bit difficult. I thought they might block us, but not at all. Most of my posts go in. Occasionally admins deny them, but it's not regularly. I'm going to get these notifications loaded. No, we're absolutely not. Okay, Reddit. This is one that I'm launching. I've opened this subreddit. It's going to just be opened up to all the flat earthers. It's not something that I'm going to keep control of. It's it's a real community thing. Reddit is. So I've just opened it. But this can get a lot of traction. Like we were saying, Twitter's a really good tool. Twitter it is, and so is Reddit. So many people use Reddit, and basically when something goes viral, this is where like viral stuff kind of comes from, as far as I'm aware. And when something starts to go on Reddit, it goes. You can get a snowball. So with Reddit, if we build up a subreddit here, a community on here that has value, and again we're all interacting in there, so Reddit looks at the account, at the subreddit, as a valuable subreddit because there's good interaction on there. If we do this, and then we orchestrate ourselves to come in all at one point and put the thumbs up on a post, like for example, we wanted to write viral this annual Flat Earth meetup in Canada, then we'd organise 100 or 200 of us on a chat here, and one person would go and make the post, and then as soon as the post made, after 2 or 3 minutes, everyone would go and like it, thumb it up, and that would get it onto the Reddit homepage potentially, or it would at least bring it up in the new posts. Got a good chance of getting there. And once we hit the Reddit front page, I'll show you the Reddit front page here. Oh sorry, this is my front page. So is it? Yeah, it is. I'm just bringing up the front page. This is the idea of the whole Reddit thing. The objective in my mind of Reddit is to get posts on this front page here. So this is all the posts that have been made to Reddit recently, and the best of. And so here we go. Here's one that's got 4,224 likes. So that's one of the lower ones that are in here. And you can see how high it can get. It can get up to 50,000 likes. And not only likes, but exposure. It doesn't matter if we get downvotes. Reddit also likes controversial. So if a lot of people are hitting up and a lot of people are hitting down on the vote, that's good for us, as long as not everyone's hitting down. If it's 50-50, Reddit really appreciate that, because it shows that people are interested. It's an interesting topic. People have opinions on it. I need to link that. I apologise again for the video quality, guys. I've just got to do what I can when I can. As soon as we get connectivity good again, I'm ready to get on stream and get some stuff done. I've been buzzing to get the stream going today, because you guys have probably seen that for the last week or so it's just been sat on 24-hour documentary cycle really, and I've tried to pop in when I can and do bits and bobs, but I've not really had a plan. But now I'm getting a bit of a plan together of what I want to do and what I want to do with the channel. Basically, I want to turn this stream into the how to promote Flat Earth. So I'm sure you're all aware we're going to create quite a few Flat Earth streams for people to drop into, and we're going to have like a documentary cycle for newbies to go into, and they can have a chat in the chat room about about formation and stuff. IPS is going to do a music one. I think that's really cool. Anything creativity is good, because creative people like to get their work out there. Creative people, in my opinion, some of the best at marketing, and that's what we're doing with Flat Earth. We're marketing it. We're selling Flat Earth to people. We're marketing it out there. So I don't even know where that tangent came from, but it did. It came from somewhere. Okay, I've put the Reddit link in the chat. In the description below the video, the Reddit link is number 5. Okay. So I think I covered the idea of the Reddit. If anyone knows, if anyone's good with Reddit, hit me up, please, because I've got so many things to be looking after and keeping going, and you know, this sidebar here needs sorting out. It's ugly. It's got links in it, but it's ugly. The words aren't very good. This isn't the only one. The Facebook group, it's got the same sidebar from when I set it up. YouTube, I need to do YouTube descriptions to get on the shop. You know, there's a lot of stuff to do. If anyone enjoys just jamming on Reddit all the time, please hit me up, let me know, and come and mod this and look after it, keep it clean. Same with anything else that you've seen on here that I do, like Facebook. If you want to come and add me in the Facebook group, come and let me know. Right, people need to have wrenches in these areas as well, not just on the not just in the chats. It needs to go, whilst we're taking it across to the other chat rooms as well on YouTube, we need to take it across all the platforms across the web. Brilliant stuff, Joseph. Thanks, brother. I appreciate the encouragement. It's kind of I'm hoping that it's the video quality that's keeping people, maybe the timing or the time of day. Say about midday in the US. I think I might have to split my sleeping pattern so that I can stream sort of 3 o'clock in the morning, because at my time, because I'm in Greenwich Mean Time, I'm Britain. So maybe I'll just have to flip the sleeping pattern so that I can stay on here and promote. But then again, saying that, it's all about promotion, isn't it? And we need someone doing it in the day as well. Yeah, screw that, I'm going to stay on the same sleeping pattern. I nearly went selfish then. I don't want to do that. I've got to make sure that someone's there pushing it out in the daytime as well. Manfred Fletcher says yes. Yes, brother. Hey, I'm not sure what you're agreeing to, because we're on a bit of a delay. There's about 30 seconds between me speaking and you seeing it. But I appreciate the support. Yes on anything is good. Yes, bro. Sorry for passing it by there. Yes is a brilliant thing to say. It's one of the most amazing things you could say. If you choose one word to say, yes is a great one. Peace, brother. Alright, let me show you these info cards as well. Where have I put them? Gum Road. Right, this is the GoFundMe. I'm not on a beg right now, guys. Even though I do sometimes do it. I'm not denying that I go out and ask for donations, but I'm not on it right now. I'm just posting a link here so you can see it, because this is where we have the plans. This is a good description of what's going on with the Flat Earth info cards. The links I've just put in the chat, and I'm going to put it in the description down below, number 6. This is another one of my main projects. I guess I've got a few main projects, which is distributing. This is a really good one. I think this is one of my main ones. Distributing Flat Earth info cards across the plane. Now, to buy business cards or info cards, 100, it's about 20-25 quid sort of price to get them delivered to you. And basically a lot of Flat Earth activists, 20-25 quid, there's going to be like their week's bus rent to bus money to work or whatever. They haven't got that kind of money to do it. And some Flat Earth enthusiasts, they have to work full time in real jobs, inverted commas, but they have a little bit of spare cash. So what this campaign's doing is connecting those two. It's trying to pool resources, as in there's people with a little bit of excess money and there's people with a little bit of excess time, and when we connect them, we're buying cards at wholesale price to give to people to distribute. That's the small part of it, and when we pool resources on a big scale, it's going to be insane. Imagine when we tap into a couple of million. If a millionaire comes along and says, "Oh my goodness, you guys, you little team of tip of the beak people, wrench crew, whatever you want to call us, You guys opened my eyes, and this needs to be shown to the world. This needs to be exposed. When someone like that comes along and drops like, it's going to take nothing. 10 grand dropped on our community. You know, if we split that out and gave 100 quid to each active person that has got a solid plan, we're going to expose it straight away, because we'd have 100,000 of these cards out, we'd have 100 billboards up, we'd have whatever we needed. Websites is what I was thinking there. We'd have domains up and websites going when we've pulled all the resources. So that's what's good about this GoFundMe kind of thing, and that's why it's okay to sell. If you're promoting Flat Earth, you are perfectly entitled to make a living from it. I would not go ahead and say that you're perfectly entitled to make excess money from it, but I would absolutely support someone making their living from promoting the Flat Earth truth. All of this promotional stuff is going to help you do that. If you want to do that, if you want to become a Flat Earth activist full time, this is it. Just Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, do some GoFundMe. And it's the ground activists like me that are going to be the time part of this, of the pool of resource. Like, it's time that's allowed me to create what I've created so far. That's all. I've got nothing special other than time. I've been able to sit in front of the computer for 16 hours a day and do it. Not everybody's blessed with that opportunity. So if someone can just sit down for 1 hour a day and do something like this, it's going to build. It's not going to snap your fingers and be like exactly the same as this within 3 or 4 weeks, but it's definitely going to build. And we need people to do that. If you want to get the truth out there, spend an hour a day doing it, is what I'd say. Dedicate yourself to it. Steve Harfin says there's so much power in a bottom-up reformation. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, because it's the people at the bottom that have been mistreated who are going to come up, and they know what it's like to be mistreated, so they don't want to mistreat anyone else. Like, I can't see that anyone's going to be at the bottom after this, because it's their structure that's put us at the bottom of their structure. So I'm hoping that what we're going to do is we're going to bring everybody up to the top, hopefully. That's what I'd like to see happen. Right, so the fundraiser for the info cards. Oh yeah, we're not pushing the fundraiser today. We're just pushing the information on it. We've got space. The first lot of this has been funded, by the way. We've got 1,000 of these cards is on the press right now. I think the guy's he's on a different time zone to me, but he said he should do it tomorrow when he emailed me that like 12 hours ago. So these cards should be off the press in about 12 hours. The first batch. We're still doing more batches. We're going to keep banging them out 1,000 at a time. And for the first batch, we've got 7 people that are going to take cards already. So 700 of them we're ready to get out. But there's still 300 left. So there's 3 people. If you live in the USA and you don't live in Texas or California, then email me on an email address that I'm trying to find. There it is. No, that's not it. Oh, this is it. I think it is. So what I'm trying to say there is, if you want to distribute some info cards, it don't matter where you are, just let me know, because we're going to go plane wide. Just the first batch is going to the US. The email address I've put in the comments there, and to email me if you're watching this video not live and you want to email me to get some of these cards, it's link number 7 in the description below. All the links are right at the first thing in the description, and email me at link number 7 if you would like to get some of these cards. Please let me know this, what state you're in if you're in the US, or what country you're in if you're not in the US, and just let us know that you're going to use them, basically, rather than leave them sitting in a cupboard or something like that. You know, it shows that you're active, basically. It shows that you're getting it done, getting stuff done, and we'll send them out to you. Right, Gumroad is these cards for free, where you can download them if you don't want to apply for us to distribute them to you, basically if you've got a printer and some thick paper, this is a link to where you can download these pictures, these cards. Nope. I didn't save my login details for it, that's not good. I'm going to have to give you that link another time, because I need to log into this account and find it, I think. Yeah, I've not got it yet, unfortunately. It's elsewhere though. The link is probably in this description below, right near the bottom somewhere. I put the Gumtree up when I was a bit tired and that, so no, I didn't share the link anywhere. I'll get that one for you. Next time I go on stream, I'll have a link for where to download free info cards. Okay. We're still having bad internet, it's cutting in and out, so I'm going to put a wrap on it for now, guys. I'm going to give it an hour or so, try and get some stuff done and see what the situation is after that. But it's all positivity, we can get stuff done. If it's probably a sign, like maybe I should go and spend some time in nature or something. It's been a lot of zoning at the computer for a while. Well, anyway, I'm going to sign it out now, guys. I will chat with you again as soon as possible. Thanks all for being here, and I hope that you found some use out of this. Peace on the plane, guys. Bye.